Okay. Good afternoon and welcome to the Introduction to Red Hat JBoss Middleware webinar. My name is Sean Walsh. I'm the JBoss Public Sector Specialist here at Emergent. And today we're just going to be doing an overview of the Red Hat middleware products available. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So we're going to start with just an agenda. So first we're going to do an introduction to who Red Hat is and a little bit of information about open source as a concept. Then we're going to dive right into what is Red Hat JBoss Middleware. We're going to do a JBoss Portfolio preview. This is meaning we're just going to look a little bit into each of the key products in the JBoss Portfolio. We're also then going to look at some of the competition in this space. And then we've got a great use case at the end about how Geico succeeded using Red Hat JBoss Middleware. So Red Hat, a little company information. Red Hat's headquartered in Raleigh, North Carolina. They currently have over 70 offices and 4,000 employees. They're a global enterprise technology company, and they're by far the leader in commercial open source. So Red Hat does more for the open source community than pretty much any other company and most other companies combined. They're really a standout company. So the question really becomes, why open source, and what makes open source different than typical proprietary software? Now, open source is a fundamentally different development model, and what it does is it leverages the power of an open source community. So code is put out to a community of developers, and they collaborate on projects. Now, Red Hat takes that collaborative effort. I'm sorry, I just received a note. Okay, I apparently have only till 4 p.m., so I think we can wrap this up before then. Red Hat takes that code and compiles it, hardens it, and tests it. So we're going to jump into that here in a second. The open source model versus the proprietary model. Now, one of the key differences in open source versus proprietary is the vision for the projects. Open source software is developed, like I said, by a community of developers. So you have a lot of different perspectives on software and a lot of different visions for where it's going to go. Proprietary software developed by some of Red Hat's key competitors is really dictated with a top-down vision. So a few individuals dictate how the software is going to be developed and what it's going to look like when it's deployed. A great advantage of open source software is you get better quality software and faster innovation, sometimes 100 times as fast as you do with the proprietary model. Again, because of that team collaborative design effort. And the last key feature of open source, and this is true for Red Hat as an enterprise open source company as well as free open source or community open source, is access to the source code. Proprietary models differ in that they typically don't give you access to the source code. You get the binaries just to download and install, whereas with open source software, no matter what, you have full access, and you can modify it and tweak it, and that's completely legal and up to you. So what is Red Hat JBoss Middleware? Well, JBoss Middleware, kind of a simple example, it's really the plumbing between a client application and a server or mainframe. JBoss Middleware sits on top of the server operating system, and it facilitates common application practices, and so it can accelerate development for application developers, as well as automate some of the processes involved, and then as well, finally, as integrating numerous different applications together to create kind of a harmonious environment. So where does Red Hat come in with all this? Well, there's lots and lots of commercial or available open source projects out on the web, and you can go out and try them out for free. They're available through various websites and hubs. But what Red Hat does is they pick and choose the very best pieces that they consider to be the most enterprise-ready projects. They bring them in-house, they test them, they harden them, and they make them available via subscription. So what you're really getting with Red Hat is proven software. And this slide again reiterates that. So Red Hat is going to be testing the software to make sure this doesn't have bugs. So it's going to provide certification through vendors. Red Hat has over 1,000 supported vendors who are certified on their platform. They're going to provide you with patches and updates. A lot of community projects lag behind because they have a very short development cycle and then they move on to a new product, which means you don't have the range of support necessary for an enterprise application to be stood up. Documentation. Red Hat's award-winning support is fully documented, which means as problems occur and corrections happen, they can quickly facilitate any future problems that may occur within new organizations that are similar. And lastly, again, the support. Red Hat's support department is staffed entirely by certified engineers. So when you call in, if you have a bug or you have a glitch, you're going to get somebody who really knows the system. So let's jump into the Red Hat JBoss Middleware Portfolio. This is kind of an overview and really displays how the portfolio stacks up on top of itself. It's actually a really great graphic. So some sort of glitch, I think. Hopefully we can address that going forward. Can you all see the current slide? If you can respond in the chat box. Okay, we're good to go. Great. So the JBoss portfolio, like I said, is a multi-component, and it consists of 3 core ideas. I've kind of mentioned them before, but they are accelerate, integrate, and automate. So these are kind of classes in which some of the or in which all of the JBoss portfolio falls in, and we're going to go through these. And as you can see on the slide, they're color-coded according to them. So we're going to start ahead with the accelerate group. Advance the slide here. So accelerate. These are the applications, application components that help to speed up the performance across physical, virtual, or cloud environments, and it boosts your agility. So let's look at some of the key products in this category. So this is the largest component of the Red Hat JBoss portfolio, and it consists of Red Hat JBoss Enterprise Application Platform. This is the flagship product for JBoss. Again, additionally, we also have the JBoss Enterprise Web Server. We have Red Hat JBoss Data Grid, Red Hat JBoss Operations Network, Red Hat JBoss Developer Studio, and Red Hat JBoss Portal Platform. 1 second. There we go. So we're going to jump in and start again with the flagship here. This is the Red Hat JBoss Enterprise Application Platform, also known as EAP. So this is a Java EE server. This is everything that you need to build, deploy, and manage your applications. And these are Java applications. One of the great features about EAP is its quick startup time. It's been lauded for how fast it can spin up, which really is going to help going forward as we're moving applications into the cloud. That fast startup time is reflected in how quickly you can spin up a cloud server. Fancy. Next we have Red Hat JBoss Enterprise Web Server. Web Server, a great way to think about is it's kind of a lightweight version of EAP. So it's slimmed down. It's basically built on the Apache Tomcat and the Apache Web Server, which are the 2 most popular web server projects available from community. But just like all of Red Hat's portfolio, these have been taken to the next level. They've been hardened, they've been tested, they've been certified, and so now you're going to get that level of support that is just not available with community hardware. Next we have Red Hat JBoss Data Grid, which is JBoss Data Grid is a in-memory distributed database. So this is designed to let your applications access data more quickly than ever before. It uses memory, so RAM, for distributed caching. It also has some additional characteristics that are great for scanning a database like MapReduce, elastic scalability, and processing for data streams. Next we have Red Hat JBoss Operations Network. JBoss Operations Network is a management tool, and it can be paired with any Red Hat JBoss product. So what it does is it provides system administrators with a unified view of their JBoss resources. So no matter what you have deployed within JBoss, whether you're using data grid as we've discussed, or you have applications deployed into EAP, you can monitor their status. It also gives you tools to track metrics on how they're performing. It also allows you to quickly install patches and updates to minimize those downtimes that are definitely costly. Any product that you purchase or that you'd be considering purchasing within the Red Hat JBoss family, you should definitely consider purchasing it with JBoss Operations Network or job. Next, we have Red Hat JBoss Developer Studio. Again, this is a tool that's available, and it complements basically everything in the Red Hat JBoss stack. So it's an integrated development environment, or IDE. It's based on some key tools. These are JBoss Hibernate Framework, JBoss Seam Framework, and JBoss Web Framework. So JBoss Developer Studio is designed for helping developers build and test, as well as deploy rich web applications and enterprise application services. So JBoss is basically an all-in-one compiler, test environment. It simulates a server for you, and it's going to accelerate your development cycles. Next, we have the JBoss Portal Platform. Now, JBoss Portal Platform is a full-level portal suite, and it's really designed for creating, managing, and publishing websites and web content. So some of the key features that it has, it offers great reliability, great reliable delivery infrastructure, and it's application agnostic. So you can use JBoss Portal Platform on if you're running competitors' hardware, non-Red Hat hardware, if you're running community software, it'll work in any environment. So that's definitely a bonus with JBoss Portal Platform. We're going to step up the stack now, and we're going to look at the integration layer for JBoss. Now these are products that connect services together, as well as abstract some of your data. So this is an interesting layer and a big step forward for Red Hat this generation. So the four key pieces to the integrate family are Red Hat JBoss AMQ, Red Hat JBoss Fuse, Red Hat JBoss Fuse Service Works, and Red Hat Data Virtualization. Now, a key thing to know is that JBoss AMQ, Fuse, and Fuse Service Works are kind of their own stack, and each subsequent product integrates the components of the one before it. One moment. So Red Hat JBoss AMQ, this is built on the very popular Apache ActiveMQ project, and it's a standards-based messaging platform. So AMQ is designed for high-performance messaging, and it's designed for asynchronous messaging. It's extremely lightweight, and it's designed to be used at any level. So you can use it within your enterprise running on your servers, or it can be deployed on devices out in the field. It's a great lightweight asynchronous messaging platform. Next we have JBoss Fuse. Now this is a key component in the integration portfolio, because this is when we introduced the concept of the enterprise service bus. And Fuse is a lightweight yet robust ESB, enterprise service bus. It's built on a couple noteworthy Apache projects, which is Apache CXF for web services, Apache Camel, which is a parsing tool and helps you integrate your frameworks. So it allows you to connect multiple apps speaking different languages. It also includes, like we said before, AMQ, or Apache ActiveMQ. This is all wrapped up in an Apache Carafe container, so that's what keeps it very lightweight. Carafe is less robust than a full application server like EAP, which is what you're going to get with Fuse Service Works. So Fuse Service Works is kind of the king. It's the most powerful of the ESBs, and it is got AMQ in it. It's got everything you get from Fuse, and then it also has governance and orchestration tools. You're going to get integration with JBoss Developer Studio, JBoss Operations Network, and it's all wrapped up in that JBoss EAP container. A data virtualization takes a step in a different direction for the integration platform. This one is designed for integrating your data sources. So what data virtualization does is basically it's a comprehensive data supply and integration platform. So it's going to sit on top of your data layer as an abstraction tool and hide some of the complexities from your applications. So if you're looking for a piece of data, you ask for it through data virtualization, and it will find it regardless of location. So you don't have to specify, single source routes to get to, this is sitting in this SAN server, this is on this Hadoop server. It's all in one place. It treats your data set like a whole, and so it's going to speed up your querying times, and it's going to make your data environment more accessible. All right, last but not least is the automate stack. So these are where Red Hat JBoss is empowering your business with processing tools and rules management. So these help to streamline business flows and optimize efficiency. So there's two key pieces of software in this, and they sound very similar. There's Red Hat JBoss Business Rules Management Software, or BRMS, and Red Hat JBoss Business Process Management Suite 6, or JBoss BPM Suite 6. Again, similar to the Fuse and Fuse Service Works and AMQ pieces of the Integrate portfolio, JBoss Business Rules Management Software and JBoss Business Process Management Suite build into one complete component. So Red Hat JBoss BRMS, this is an open source business rules management system. So it's designed to capture and create business logic and automate business processes. It's built on the popular Drools rules engine. It's an open source project. But again, just like all Red Hat products, it's been tested and hardened, and it's supported by that great Red Hat support. You also get authoring tools which are going to enable your developers as well as your business analysts to create rules of their own without necessarily having to go through that long coding process. And that's one of the great parts about BRMS. It's going to bring business analysts and developers together to work in unison. Now, BPM Suite 6 it's going to build upon everything, the foundation that BRMS has laid down, but it's going to add complex event processing. Now, this lets businesses recognize and respond to events in real time for multiple data endpoints. So CEP, or complex event processing, basically allows you to integrate temporal data into your business rules to make decisions better and faster. Just like when we were talking about Fuse Service Works and Fuse, you're going to get additional tools as well with BPM. So integration with Red Hat JBoss Developer Studio, and some management tools that help you manage your overall environment. And much like Fuse Service Works, this is all wrapped up in an EAP container. So why would you choose JBoss Middleware over the competition? Well, a couple key pieces. It's open choice. Open source is all about open choice. You're going to maximize your flexibility and productivity at all levels of the middleware architecture. It's enterprise class. So just like if you went out and chose a proprietary vendor, you're getting support to back up a product, and it's industry-leading support. And last is value. It's a great value for the money. Red Hat JBoss Middleware is typically much lower cost than competition software, and so with that decreased total cost up front, you're going to be able to increase your return on investment over the long run by minimizing costs and maximizing your productivity. So let's talk about some of the competition that's out there. So you've now heard a lot about Red Hat. Let's talk about what else is on the market and things you may be currently considering. And so this will kind of give you some clues as to when I hear this, maybe I should think Red Hat. So we'll start with the community level. Community is, it's a test bed essentially for all open source projects, and Red Hat supports these community projects. We don't want to disparage them, but there is a difference between community upstream and supported enterprise JBoss products. And like I just said, support is one of the key pieces. With a community project, you're not going to get the level of support that you expect or that you're going to need for your enterprise to run stable applications. It's kind of like the Wild West. And a lot of these projects run 6-month development cycles, and then they move on to the next iterative version. Where with Red Hat products, you're going to get a long-term support contract up front, and you're going to be able to continuously develop on that platform. It's also completely certified. Red Hat stands behind their binaries and their patches, and you're not going to have to deal with those unexpected downtimes as a result of bugs, and then you're going to have to go Google searching for responses, or get out there on any of the number of development websites looking for somebody's suggested response, which you're then going to have to test and deploy yourself. Red Hat has proven practices for dealing with downtime. Next is competition at the portfolio level. Now we see competition, from most major vendors, and we're talking here about Microsoft, we're talking about IBM, we're talking about Oracle, we're talking about VMware. So competition from the proprietary level or the portfolio level is something we've talked about earlier in this presentation, but you're going to be dealing with a complex purchasing process. A lot of these companies have upfront contracts that you're going to have to agree to, long-term contracts with them. You're going to be stuck on that version of the software. Red Hat purchasing process is very simple. It's a simple subscription model, so you're only in it for a year. It's very low risk. If you like the product, you continue to be supported on it, and if you want to upgrade, those are included. Compatible software and hardware. A lot of vendors try to lock you in and keep you using only their products. Red Hat is essentially agnostic with where we run. We're certified on thousands of vendor platforms, and you get to choose which platform you want, which means now you can price shop for the hardware that you want, and look for a budget that's designed to fit you. Maintenance. Some of these proprietary vendors, you're going to need to get independent support contracts from them, or you're going to pay per call of support. Red Hat includes support up front, so you get unlimited calls, and depending on your support level, that may be unlimited calls 24/7, 365. It's really up to your choice. Licensing, again, proprietary licensing, they own everything. You own nothing. With open source software, you're part of the general public license, or the GPL. So if you have something within your personal code and you want to modify it, you want to create your own little custom Red Hat, you can do that too, and you can modify the source code and compile it yourself, and then you've got your own personalized version of it. Legal assurance, this is similar on both accounts. Red Hat stands behind their products, IBM stands behind their products, so as long as you're using a supported product, either way, proprietary or open source, you're going to be protected. And budgeting is a big one. Red Hat's budget, because we talked about the subscriptions, means you get to spread your expenses over the life of the product, whereas with most proprietary products, you have a large focused investment right up front. So you're going to be out a large deal of capital once, and then you're going to have a budget lurch, whereas Red Hat's subscription model allows you to plan and plot your budget going forward. So let's talk about some success that was had with Red Hat JBoss Middleware, and this success is found at Geico. So Geico was facing some business challenges. They had standardized on a proprietary middleware platform that was difficult to maintain and expensive to maintain. The typical struggles that you can come across with proprietary software. And so why did they need to migrate? They were looking for a cost-effective solution that could scale. Geico has been growing by leaps and bounds in recent years. Lizard does a great job. So what was the Red Hat JBoss solution? Well, Red Hat was able to deploy the enterprise application platform on a cluster of servers, and they rolled out a large cluster at first, 540 processors. And the plan was to migrate over 2 to 3 mission-critical applications in the span of 3 months. Well, ultimately, they decided to transfer everything. They saw a massive reduction in total cost of ownership, over 30%. They had a 2/3 reduction in utilization, which means they were freeing up resources for new development. And the overall utilization went from more than 50% to less than 10. So again, that's freed resources, which means they can develop new, more innovative ways to save. So let's just kind of wrap it up here. So Red Hat JBoss Middleware, what is it? It packages upstream JBoss projects and makes them enterprise ready for mission critical workloads. It has a diverse product portfolio for accelerating, integrating, and automating applications. And with Red Hat, you're always going to get open choice, enterprise class support, and value provided to the customer is long-term stability, supportability, and maintainability. This is my personal information. If you guys would like to contact me, have any questions about Red Hat JBoss, I'm happy to discuss it, and you can reach out to me. And that is just about the end of the presentation.